Yo guys, today's topic will be talking about whether you should be having an exclusive or not. Okay, when it comes to exclusive, I'm not just talking about the selling part, but also talking about the buying part. Somebody who is there to help you search for the property you want to either stay in or invest in or have or both. Okay, so yep, don't really need for disclaimer. Today I'm not going to be showing much data anyway, but anyway, it's still based on my point of view. Okay, so of course, if you want to have if you have a different point of view, then that's totally fine with me. So for those of you who are wondering, what do you mean by exclusive? We are talking about whether you should have one exclusive agent helping you in your transaction, whether it's buying or selling or renting or blah blah blah, or should you have multiple agents working at the same time for you? Because a lot of people will think that, hey, what for would I need one person to do the job when I can have multiple of them doing the job for me at the same time, right? And so today we'll be talking a little bit more about that. For those of you still not very clear about this, because maybe you are still very new to this property scene. Maybe for those people who are very young, haven't done a property transaction before, don't really know the scenes. Okay, so this is a simple illustration from the CEA website, and then you got example in this picture. You got four salesperson, or rather the agents, and they are marketing the place, marketing your place at the same time, and then whoever closes the deal gets the check. Okay, whoever closes the deal gets the commission, obviously. And so it's like a free for everyone. And then if you can close, then you take. If you don't close, then too bad for you, you get nothing in return. As compared to an exclusive where only one guy is marketing the place for you, and hence he knows that he's the only one that is able to get a commission. So why is the need for people to give this when you can have four people working for you at the same time, right? And I think the simple reason is that, of course, in the olden days, not say olden lah, maybe a few 1 or 2 decades ago, when there's a lack of technology, you got newspaper ads, you got maybe more relying selling property more word of mouth. Then you maybe need to have more people to help you advertise your place. But nowadays we are talking about in a technology world where we have most people, we talk about or buying property, looking at property, which is the first website you go. You go to the typical property portal, Property Guru, 99 Co, SRX, blah blah blah, all these, and then that is basically where you can find most of the properties that you are looking at. I would say maybe about 80 or 90% of the properties. And if that's the case, will it be like a word of mouth dominant, or is it a newspaper dominant like it used to be? Okay, so if that's the case, then you got let's say four people. How sure are you? And to be honest, I think agents posting on these portals, they need money to refresh the posting to keep their listings on top. And if that's the case, will they want to work hard for you? Will they want to splash more of their money for you? Because there is always a risk of having zero returns eventually. Because if let's say they don't close the deal, the commission goes to somebody totally. So what do you have? You have basically just causes put out there, and these causes are easily hundreds or even thousands easily. And then if that's the case, then you have a business, your business risk becomes an issue. Okay, and on the other hand, if you have a exclusive agreement with your agent, and then your agent is the only one who is basically allowed to sell, and you protect your agent's interest, and your agent, will they be more obliged to protect your interests as compared to this situation over here? You got four who are trying to fight for the commission, and if they get an offer, any one of them get an offer anyway, it's not uncommon that a buyer comes in. If I'm a buyer, I come in, and then I want to buy your place, and I see this one versus the other one that is exclusive, which one do you think is happier for me? Right? If I put in my offer to this guy, doesn't go through, will I try this? Will I try this? Will I try this? As compared to if I put in a guy, will I put in the offer to this guy? This guy, is he able to protect your interest more, or compared to the four of them? Will any one of them try to convince you to go for a lower offer? Because the fact that once they get an offer, if they cannot push through, then the buyer goes to the other person. If the other person managed to go through, what will happen? The other person gets the commission, and hence will this guy work for nothing? So now you see why when it comes to an open listing, a lot of agents are trying to basically push through their offer to the seller. Whether the seller accepts or not, of course, is another issue. But the thing is, you realize that it's actually a little bit of like a conflict of interest. Okay, later we'll talk more about that. So in the first place, why are we talking about this today? Because just sometime along this week, I had received an inquiry, telling me, hey, TT, you want to help me sell my property? So I'm like, oh, okay. What are the details, blah, blah, blah. And then I asked a simple question. How many agents are there selling for you currently right now? Then they say, oh, this person says, oh, it doesn't really matter lah. I mean, there are some agents selling, but I will prefer that you focus on helping me to sell my property at a good price, as compared to trying to figure out how many competitors are there. So when you hear this, and you're running a business with a lot of callers, easily hundreds and even thousands of them, thousands in terms of dollars, will you want to jump in head on and then take on the so-called challenge? Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned, this is a business. This is not like a like all pure challenge where it's free. There are a lot of business causes coming into play. So there is a certain risk reward ratio that we have to analyze whether we want to jump in. Yes, there are some agents who take out every single listings. Maybe their bosses ask them to take out every single listing, but you have to see whether these agents, are they a top producer, are they not a top producer, and then what kind of properties are you getting them to sell. So for this case, this guy is basically, if I want to rephrase this whole situation, this is the seller, is telling me, I want you to work purely for my interest, but your interest doesn't matter to me, because whether at the end of the day it closes the deal, it doesn't matter. It just goes the commission goes to the one that closes the deal lah. You get nothing lah. That's too bad. But at the same time, I want you to protect my interests. So if it's you in this situation, when you want to take this, I think for me it's very simple. I don't just work for the money itself. First of all, you're telling me that you don't really value my work in the first place, because sometimes you need to know that sometimes people work is not just about money. If not, there will be people who are willing to change jobs easily because they are higher pay elsewhere. Nowadays, I think in our generation, it's not just about money. And it's about how we feel people value our work in the first place. And then the other thing is, there are a lot of other agents also already down there posting or marketing, and there's always a risk of other people closing the deal, and then hence everything goes into zero. Your causes go out for nothing, and then will you be willing to take the case? I think most of you will probably be thinking no, right? Because you're not just talking about $1, $2, tens of dollars. You're talking about hundreds and thousands of dollars. So definitely for me, I didn't take it up. Okay, some other agents, yes, you may go to some other agents, they will say, okay, they will take lah. But at the end of the day, you realize that after 2-3 months, this guy, by the way, told me they are selling for 3-4 months, maybe around 2 to 3 months, 4 months, can't remember. But they have trouble selling. So is that a problem of price or performance? So what does it mean? So what does it mean for me in this case? I look at his price. His price is fine. It's reasonable. So is that a matter of performance of those people who are helping him to sell in the first place? Okay. So if that's the case, then because I mentioned, the price is not a problem. It seems to me that there is a problem of the agents not working as hard as they should, or rather as much as well as they should. And do I blame them? Actually, I don't blame them at all. Who should I blame? Who should we blame? We should be blaming the seller, because in the first place, he doesn't take care of their interests. So what will happen? Okay, so for example, let's say we look at this. Okay, we look at these two properties right now on the property guru website. You got just this condo alone, you got 300 plus listings. This one you got 400 plus listings. So, and then in the first place, if you look at these guys claims to be I'm not going to be revealing the agent's name lah. Okay, so these guys claims to be selling at the developer price. So if you are selling, like for example, by the way, the unit in question is actually a sub-sale, so that means you are fighting with 300 plus 400 plus other listings. So what will make you want to put in more money to fight against these people when in the first place you don't even have an exclusive? Will the agents be motivated to work hard for you? Then in the first place, you got a whole bunch of people posting all these, by the way, totally fake prices, and all these quite rampant on the market. I think if you do go and find property also on your own, you realize that there are quite a lot of fake listings all around. So in the first place, I need to go and fight against these fake listings for you. And then the other thing is you got this whole bunch of them. There are so many of them fighting. And then the other thing is if that's the case, if I know the chances of me closing for you is quite small, will I take your buyers and go elsewhere? So that is the problem with a lot of the so-called open listings in the area. Of course, we are not saying that every single listings then buyers get swing elsewhere to elsewhere, but it does happen. We've seen that happening. I've seen like this listings comes in, and then the buyer agent basically brings their buyer elsewhere after seeing my unit, and then you know that they are bringing them to somewhere else where they can that's able to pay higher, right? There's a conflict, right? So remember, there is always a simple cost benefit ratio that we need to think about, and also there's a time factor. There's also the risk as a result. After all, we are running a business. You can say that, I give you business, you don't run. At the end of the day, yes, for those of you who think that being in this line, being in this real estate line is, you're your own boss. No, you are not actually our own boss. Our bosses are actually our client in the first place. But can we choose our clients? Yes, to a certain degree. If we are not that desperate, we are not that really that starving for money, then what's wrong with choosing our business? Because if I don't want to do your business, what can you do? Call the police, right? Because I analyze that maybe your business is not something I want to take. Maybe I just didn't like you as a person. I don't want to work with you because I feel that I cannot trust you. For me, it's just a simple thing. Sometimes maybe when people just start, it's all about the money. But after a certain point where you realize that you're no longer working solely for the money, is it about hard work and the money, and what is the right balance? Okay, is there some money that I would like to earn that is able to give me meaning through my work, and hence I get appreciated for my work, I get paid for it? Yes, the seller, maybe they will think that I pay you this amount of money, now you go and do whether you get it or not, that one is not my problem. Then if that's the case, I don't feel appreciated, will I want to take your business? That is not a situation that I want to put myself in. Yes, was I stupid to let go of the listings? That open listing, yes, it's a business that I let go, but do I regret it? No, because I don't see this part that the seller is appreciating my efforts. The seller is not appreciating the value that I may be able to bring. And if that's the case, that is something that I choose not to take. Okay, not, I think to be clear, not every single agent are out there hungry, dying for money. A lot of us are also, we are not that, they are not starving, we are not underperforming, we do not need money to that pathetic extent that we have to literally beg for it. So we do choose our clients because, of course, who wants to work with nasty clients? Everyone wants to work with clients who respect them, but of course not everyone has the luxury to choose. And for those of us who have the luxury to choose, of course we want to choose nice clients who appreciate us, right? Okay, so sorry for that seller. I will say that but of course it's not just targeted at that seller only. That guy or rather quite a few people, they will be expecting, I open this thing, throw it out. Why can't you fight for a higher offer for me? I've seen quite a lot of I've seen on the ground quite a lot of I also hear quite a lot of stories like when people when agents get open listing, they know they could have gotten a higher offer, but did they bother to actually push for a higher offer? No, they push for the offer that they have, maybe a little bit higher. But could they have gone higher? Maybe. But did they do it? No, because at the end of the day, it's about protecting their own interests also, because the seller is not protecting their interests. Are they wrong in the first place? Maybe. But will you, if you were the one in their shoes, will you have done it? I think very certainly you would have done it. So I think it's very important that you see agents as fellow human beings that you need to respect. If not, then it's very hard for people to really take care of you because you don't take care of other people. So sorry for that guy that his sense of entitlement, he feels that, I need to take care of his interest. He doesn't take care of my interest. It seems to me that his self-entitlement is blinding him from the reality lah, that people don't just die for his listings. In fact, I'm pretty sure people are bringing his buys to much better places that for themselves. Okay, so too bad for him. And sometimes when you sell a property, you may think, hey, 2% so expensive. There are quite a lot of places that are selling on, either flat rate or 1% or maybe lesser than that. So why do I need to pay you a standard market 2%? And you do know that there are some agencies or maybe even some agents that are charging up to 4+%, even 5% I hear before. Now, but why are people willing to pay? If it's like a performance based kind of remuneration system, then why not? I mean, like, the more the agent can sell for you, the more he gets paid. Then will he be motivated to pay to do more? Maybe. I think most likely. But if let's say you pay 1%, or maybe lesser than that, lesser than market rate. If that's the case, you are paying lower than market rate. First of all, as the agent in question, do I feel that you appreciate my work? No, not really. Do I spend the same amount of time, but then I get maybe less than half or half or even lesser the kind of benefits? If that's the case, then will I want to do a better job for you? Okay, so I think this picture is a very good example lah. In fact, last year I negotiated one of the resale deals for one of my clients. I got a final price that was way below my expected, way below my expected, way below my buyers expected. And it turned out to be quite a bit below valuation. You remember in this market, by the way, it was very late last year. It was like November, December. It was still a red hot market, red hot resale market. But we managed to get a price at a below valuation kind of level. So how do I do it? When I look at the listing, the listing was done by a agency where they were famous for doing 1%. And if that's the case, then when I saw it, I was like, okay, my chances are pretty good. And because will this guy want to faster cycle off the unit earlier? I think chances of that happening is quite high. And the other one, I also saw that they shortlisted also. I realized that the prices I can drive easily go lower. It's also another open listing, so it was working to my advantage. And hence, I managed to get it below quite a bit below valuation. I think that is important, of course, for my buyer who is also an exclusive buyer. That was a good thing, and I was happy that I was able to do it. And so for those people who I get some clients who tell me, hey, TT, what's the market rate? 2%. How about then do you need anything higher, that kind of thing, blah blah blah. If you want to do video, all these, usually we'll charge higher, but sometimes it really depends on the seller. If the seller we feel that genuinely appreciates you, actually, to be honest, I would just 2% is fine. I will do for you everything. I will do a virtual tour. I do the video tour for you if you need to. Because at the end of the day, yes, money is important. But the thing is the amount of appreciation that you show to your agent that I feel is sometimes important as well. Also depends on what kind of agent. If it's just a hard selling agent, it's just a transactional agent, maybe it doesn't matter all to him. But for people like me, I've worked really based more on the meaning of my work. Then I feel sometimes I would just tell my seller, actually 2% is enough. I don't need anything more. Even though I know there are people who are charging more. But at least you give me the standard market rate. I don't need to earn more, but I'll do my best for you. Okay, as a simple logic. And then these are some of the examples. I didn't put this for advertisement. I just put this to remind myself there's a case study that I want to share. So this one was exclusive seller that I sold their unit in less than 1 week, and then we managed to sell it 200K above valuation from the last transaction that was done in like 1 to 1.5 months before, same exact unit type. And how do we do that? Of course, there's a lot of other combination of factors, but there's also a preparation. And I would say this seller was very nice. They helped me tidy out the place very nicely. We worked together well, and I really appreciate the fact that we were able to work so well. And I can really feel the appreciation that we have that they have for me. And by the way, I didn't sign any paperwork with them. This is not an exclusive paper. This is actually the option to purchase. I knew that she didn't really want to commit herself to any paperwork, but I felt that I could trust her because she told me that she's gonna give me an exclusive. And of course, I do have clients. I do have sellers that tell me, TD, I'm gonna give you an exclusive, but end up didn't. But this one I can feel that she was genuine about it, and then I told her actually I don't need you to commit to any paperwork. In fact, most of my sellers, I would say 80-90%, I don't even get them to sign anything, even for buyers as well. It's just more based on trust. And then when I can sense it, of course I work harder for you lah, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure in your industry, when your boss appreciates you, sometimes you don't need more money. When your boss appreciates you for your work that you do, then sometimes it's worth much more than the monetary value involved. Okay. So this one, I didn't sign an exclusive. This one I didn't sign an exclusive. This one was, by the way, my friend. I told him actually he could have went ahead go and buy a HDB for himself, and then he doesn't actually need my help. I can just send him some valuation numbers, estimates, and then he decided he still want to go through me. He still wanted to pay me the commission that I can help him do all the negotiation, blah blah blah. And by the way, he found a flat himself. So he gave me the price that he was willing to offer, and I found that it was high. But so I took maybe about 2 days to negotiate, and then we managed to negotiate something that is almost 20K below what he was willing to pay. Was my commission worth 20K? No, actually way lesser than that. But did he gain overall? Because without me, he would have paid 20K more. But with me around, okay, of course I do get my fair share of comms, but my comms was way lesser than the amount that he was almost going to pay by himself. At the end of the day, were they happy? They were definitely more than happy. So was it something that meaningful that I find in my work? Definitely way more meaningful. And yeah, so that was something. And then there was 2 case studies that I had, and both I didn't sign anything. So actually most of the time I don't even sign the exclusive with my clients, because I sense that I can trust them, they can trust me. But of course, sometimes once in a while you do get this kind of breach of trust, and when that happens, I'll just tell them straight that I don't want to work for you anymore. Okay. I think it's important to understand that there is a great difference between you yourself being overly positive and also being delusional. Because sometimes, like what this seller that I shared with you earlier, they want me to work for them, focus on their interests. They are very positive that all these agents are going to be working very well for their interests, because they think that their 2% is a lot. Honestly, it's not a lot. It's just a normal market practice. There is not really like an additional incentive for the agents to help them sell. So are they delusional? I leave it to you to decide. Okay, I think it is important that when you get an agent, you find somebody that you can respect, you see value with. Because I think the problem, actually a lot of times I don't exactly just blame the seller only. A lot of them don't want to sign an exclusive because they feel that these agents don't work hard, or they have bad experiences with some other agents before, and hence they don't want to get tied in with some kind of contract. So if that's the case, then you have to go and find some other agents that you can work with, some other consultant. I wouldn't even call it agent. I hate the word agent. In fact, I'll see myself more of a consultant, because agents are like somebody who are just very transactional. Okay, I prefer to have a more like a friends kind of relationship with my clients, and in fact I will end up being friends with most of them. I feel it's very important that we respect each other. We see each other as fellow human beings, fellow friends. Because when I can see my clients that way, I'm actually much more incentivized to work harder for them for their best interests. Okay, whereas if you see your agent as just a transactional agent, you treat them like dirt, then chances of them feeling it and realizing it is very, very high. And hence, will they treat your transaction like dirt? I think it's very, very, very likely also. So please, if you cannot trust the agent that you're working with, I think the least that you can do for yourself is go and find somebody that you can trust. And hence, as such, when you can find somebody that you can trust, then give them your trust totally, and I'm very sure that your trust will be reciprocated very easily. Okay, that's pretty much what we have for today. So moral of the story, I don't say that we it is a must for you to give an exclusive, but I think it's a important thing that you find somebody that you can trust and work with, and that is able to work well in your for your favor, and as such, I really feel that sometimes when you don't find somebody that you can trust, you're really shortchanging yourself. And we all know that real estate in Singapore is not a cheap thing. It is a lot of times in going to millions, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million and above. And all these monies are really easily 5 figure lah. Oh. And so anyway, that is all that we have for today. Any other things, then you can feel free to DM me, and then I'll see how I can help. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.